All right, so this is take two because the first time I was recording, I accidentally put my I put my picture in picture over the actual content. So, anyways, to lose weight, there's stages, right? There's phases. These are the phases that I believe I have gone through and will go through, right? In my weight loss matrix, I will cover the phases of 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. Now, my weight loss matrix isn't completely fleshed out. I just kind of sat down one day and I just started typing and filling in blanks, and little by little I've been adding things, but I haven't really sat down and created the whole picture. This is mine. This is the American African's brain, right? This is a insight into how I feel about it. This isn't the end all be all. I don't know if anything else like this exists. I'm sure it does though, but you know what I'm saying? I haven't looked for it. I haven't researched someone else's and said, oh, this is my own. This is just me sitting down one day on the computer and just typing away, okay? So, stage 1 is the initial stage, right? Initial phase. This is the self phase. This is when you start to look at yourself and say, yo, I need to lose weight. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. I'm having pain because of this weight, whether it's asthma, right? Like I have. My asthma has been great. Like I probably use my inhaler like 3-4 times in a year. Whereas before I used to go through like 3-4 inhalers in a year. I don't even go through 8 inhaler in a year. That's pretty bad though. It was bad. But yeah, so the initial phase is when you start to realize, yo, I need to do something about this, right? So for me, having asthma attacks, I told you about my plane incident before. Different things making me say, okay, I know that I'm fat, but I actually need to do something about this. It's getting serious. It's limiting what I can do in my life, And then after you go through that initial phase, you begin to realize, okay, there's things out here that people do to lose weight and to lose weight at certain speeds, right? So you go into fad dieting. Okay. Now, fad dieting will consist of things such as carnivore diet, the ketogenic diet. I don't like to say that intermittent fasting is a diet though. But you go into paleo, keto, Atkins, all right? There's a few things I want to say, but I don't want to diss anyone. I don't want anyone to take this as a negative thing. Fat dieting is what it is, right? You can't live like that. You can't do ketogenic diet forever. You can't do... I guess you could do paleo diet forever. Anyways, so yeah, you go through fat dieting. Through the fat dieting, you might even begin to research some extremes, right? The extremes, extended water fasting, right? Keto intermittent fasting, right? Carnivore diet. You try maybe some of them out. When you do these, when I did these, I began to realize these things work fast. Like I take a picture at the beginning of the month, I take a picture at the end of the month. And although I couldn't see it in the mirror, I can see it now and it's clear and it's permanent, right? These pictures exist. I did this diet. I did this extreme diet. I did this fad diet and the results are clear. I got results. I think I like it. I think I want to keep doing it. The thing I like about extreme dieting is that you don't cheat when you're doing an extreme diet. That's the one thing. You have to be very disciplined because you can't cheat. When you cheat, you mess up everything. But when you come off of it, you can kind of cheat. You can kind of indulge because you did so much work in such a short period of time that the work was even too much, in all honesty. So you could put some weight back on, right? Regain. Body recomp. You could do it a little bit, but you have to be careful, right? You have to maintain balance. Okay? Now, the reason I separated balance and maintenance is because you have to understand balance before you go into maintenance, because maintenance is balance. So when you're coming off of your fad dieting and extreme dieting, right, and you begin to regain, you have to find a healthy middle between dieting and regaining weight, right? In order to establish maintenance, you have to understand it first, right? You have to understand how to maintain balance. And as you begin to understand how to maintain balance, you begin to understand that extreme dieting, fat dieting is good. It serves its purpose. But after the purpose is served, you might have to put it down in order to maintain weight properly, right? You don't want to be fluctuating up and down 10, 20 pounds, but for so long. So I'm kind of going through this phase right here, all of that, in order for me to achieve this. I'm going through the extreme phase because I'm still trying to lose an extreme amount of weight. 100 pounds is still a lot of weight. Yeah, I've lost 200 pounds so far, but I'm still trying to lose another 100 pounds, right? I've lost part of that 100. I've gained it back. So I'm still fighting. I'm still chipping away, right? I'm still having regains. But I'm learning balance. Now, how am I learning balance if I'm still overeating? You know how I'm learning balance? Because one thing I've noticed that I'm doing that I wasn't doing before is that I go through these periods of time where I actually do eat clean and healthy and maintain my weight. I actually do. Whereas before I started weight loss, I never did that. I ate bad every single day. Maybe 99% of my meals. Now, I'm at 80%. I'm only eating bad 20% of the time. I'm eating goods 80% of the time. You understand? Before I was eating bad 99% of the time. Now I'm only eating bad 20% of the time. Alright? My only issue is that 20% of the time when I do eat bad, it's not that the food is unhealthy, it's just that I'm overeating. So I am actually fixing my problem. You know, it's been almost 2 years. I am actually fixing my problem. And this is like, the goose egg, the golden goose egg, man, to reach maintenance, man. I'm going to reach that. That's my mountaintop, All right, let's go over the weight loss matrix. So, you want to lose weight fast? These are the things I've tried or thought about trying in order to lose weight fast, right? I'll go over the ones that I've actually done, and I might cover briefly the ones that I haven't done but I've thought about, okay? My weight loss matrix is something that I created on the whim. It's not fully drafted out, and there's a lot of things missing, trust me. So you could give me some points. Hey, you might want to add this, you might want to add that. I noticed this, I noticed that. It's fine. I might add it, I might not, but any feedback is appreciated, whatever. All right, so lose weight fast, extended water fasting. Advantages of extended water fasting: you reach a point where you get used to not eating, and when you reach that point, you could extend water fast anytime. You can just do it at whim. At least I was able to. Right? I did a 6-month not 6 months consistently, but 6 months. Right? I'll do 20 days, eat for a few days, 30 days, eat for a few days, 25 days, eat for a few days. Like, yeah, I was able to roll my fast, which I plan on doing beginning of 2021. The Gauntlet version 2, part 2. Will he survive? All right. So mental acuity, mental sharpness, right? You'll be laser sharp mentally. Like, you can see through people's souls. It's serious. It's the fastest way to lose weight. I mean, obviously, if the only thing you're doing is putting water in your body, you'll lose weight fast. It cleanses your body, cleanses your skin, makes you feel fresh. It is a detox. It's a detox. Highest level of detox, natural detoxing you can do. There's a lot more advantages. That's just what I have listed for now. All right, drawbacks. Muscle loss and physique, loss of frame. Some of this is things you'll feel. Some of these things are things you will see when you look in the mirror. But to each his own. right? Some people just need to lose weight. They don't really care about maintaining their physique and their frame yet. They'll do that after they finish losing the weight. To me, I've learned that it's very hard to build muscle on a slim frame. That's I don't want to talk about that in this video. All right. It does not correct eating habits. When I wrote this, I know what I was thinking about, but it does actually correct eating habits. If done for good length of time, okay? But it also may not. I noticed that when I come off my fast, I'm able to control the quality of food. Maybe not the quantity yet. The only thing that stops me from overeating in the very, very beginning when I come off a fast and I'm refeeding is the fact that my stomach can't take it. It just can't take it. So I eat like very little and then I'm like, damn, I'm full. And I'll be full for like a long time. But that's when I fast for over 14 days at a time. Well, let's say over 20 days at a time. Now, because you're doing an extreme diet, right? Such as extended water fasting, it can lead to huge weight regain. It can lead to binge eating. I remember a guy I used to work with when I started working for the company I worked for 7 years ago. When I met him, I learned that he just finished a juicing diet. He did it for like 30 days. It was either 30 or 60 days, and he lost like a tremendous amount of weight. Now, I didn't know him before. I only met him after his juicing. But I didn't really talk to him about it. But, I noticed something was off about the guy, but I couldn't put my finger on it. But anyways, months passed. We didn't work together in the same department. But months passed, and later on I found out he had a heart attack. Now, he didn't die, but I was like, just like, damn, you know. And I think what happened is that he gained a lot of his weight that he lost back due to binge eating, right? And that's because of homeostasis. Like, when you're used to eating a certain way for years and years and years, I mean, the guy had to be at least 25 at that time. And he was huge, you know, huge like me. Very tall, very big. When you're used to eating so much all the time, and then for 1 month, 2 months, you don't eat at all, or you eat very little, or you eat in a very constricted way, and then you start to eat again, you're going to have cravings. It's that simple. It's not even hunger, really. It's cravings. And those cravings is your body sending signals, homeostasis. Hey, man, I lost a lot of body weight in a short amount of time. I think I need it back. All right? Fatigue. Did I finish telling the story? Yeah, the guy gained a lot of his weight back. He had a heart attack. And I believe it was because of how he handled himself after he finished juicing. I don't think he made changes to his diet, actually. I think he just juiced, lost weight, and then went back to what he was doing. I'm not judging him. Obviously, I've done the same thing plenty of times. I'm still fighting that. It's not easy, you know. Fatigue. Obviously, when you're doing extended water fasting, I mean, the only energy you're getting is from your stored fat. You're not putting carbohydrates in. You're not eating fat. You're not eating protein. So, you'll get your fat. You'll get your energy from your stored fat, and then your body might even start tapping into your protein a little bit. So, fatigue is gonna come. What do? You sleep it off, snake juice. You do what you gotta do. You push through, but you have to be smart about it, right? Too much fatigue is never a good thing. So when you feel like it's too much, you might have to break your fast. So, and that fatigue comes, for me, came due to heavy exercising, right? I don't know who's in me, but It's like there's another person in me that be like, man, F this, let's go for a hike. Hey man, I know you just woke up, but let's hit the gym. Like that's just how it be. And I'm a go with the flow type of person, so I usually listen to myself. But I'm gonna listen to my body during this fast, right? I want to make it 40 days. I'm gonna try my best not to do any heavy exercises. I might go to the gym here and there. I might go for a walk here and there, but nothing's on my schedule. You feel me? My plan is to sit my ass in my house. That's my plan. Sit my ass in my house, drink water. I might squeeze a lemon or two in it. I'll drink stevia. I had 12 cans of stevia yesterday. I'm just keeping it funky with you. But let's not talk about that. So you can't do heavy exercises. And one thing I've noticed is that it affects my metabolism for the first like 10 to 14 days. So after I finish my fast, my body isn't like it isn't processing anything. Like during my last fast, when I came off for 35 days, food sat in my stomach for like 4 days. Like there was no poop. There was nothing was processing. There's very little poop. There was some poop. Very little processing, you know. But I do believe during my last fast, I was dehydrated because I had diarrhea. I think I actually had diarrhea. I kept pooping, but I was like, "There's nothing in me," and I was looking at my poop, and there was no substance to it, you know. It was almost like I was pooping out brown water. So I could talk about poop all day. I apologize. All right. So yeah, it affects your metabolism. There are studies, right, where there's charts, and you can go look it up, where they'll say that it doesn't affect your metabolism that bad, and this, and that. Fine, to each his own. Everyone's different. You know, one thing you have to keep in mind with studies is that studies are done on a certain subject group of people, right? Everything matters. We have so many different functions of our body. Everyone's created a little bit differently. So you have to understand yourself. So for me, I know that coming out of a fast for the first 10 to 14 days, my metabolism sucks. It doesn't matter how much I run. It doesn't matter how much I lift weights. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is how little I eat. If I'm able to reduce how much I eat for the first 10 to 14 days, I can successfully come out of a water fast and maintain the weight I lost during that fast. I don't really know that I care about that yet. All right, let's just be honest. Challenges faced: orthostatic hypotension. Right, orthostatic hypotension is when you it has to do with blood circulation, okay? And it's the opposite of hypertension, right? So it's low blood pressure, and it's caused from, for me, if I go from like a crouch position and I'm down there for a while, then I come and I stand up quickly, I'll feel like lightheaded, dizziness, nausea. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. So what I do is that anytime I'm coming down from a crouch position, I come up slowly and I'm always holding something when I'm water fasting. And it usually starts after 7 days, sometime after 7 days. I haven't really figured out a way to beat it other than to keep my blood pressure high, which is dangerous, right? So, and secondly, sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation. So, as far as sleep deprivation goes, during my last water fast, I did not have sleep deprivation, but it's like it's intermittent. I don't really know what causes it. I haven't been able to figure it out. But is it possible that because I was exercising, my body was tired and that allowed me to sleep more, right? This is my theory, and it's probably something that actually disproves it or approves it, but my theory is this, right? Thinking back to former times, right? Hunter-gatherer times. When people were in a fasted state, it wasn't necessarily on purpose, right? So your body had to learn to give you enough energy so that you could still hunt for food or gather food, right? So it also changes the amount of melatonin it gives you, right? Because it wants you to stay awake longer so that you can be able to look for food and find food longer, right? So I think it all has to do with that. Food affects sleep, I think. All right. So what else have I tried? I tried keto intermittent fasting. Okay, keto intermittent fasting. This I haven't really filled this one out at all, but I think I could talk about this off the top of my head. It encourages cooking. It encourages eating clean, right? If you cook, you're more likely to eat clean. Not for everyone, but I think for most people who haven't cooked for a very long time in their life, or haven't cooked at all in their life, and they begin to cook because they're doing a ketogenic diet, they will naturally eat clean food. Ketogenic food is usually food from the earth. Now there's lazy keto, dirty keto, where you eat processed food, but you're still in ketosis. Whatever works for you. But for me personally, the ketogenic diet encouraged me to cook and encouraged me to eat clean. All right. All right. Yeah, I didn't put this in, but we'll do it like this. Okay. Yeah. So, and the negative things about the ketogenic diet, and it's also intermittent fasting. So let me just talk about intermittent fasting real quick. Intermittent fasting, it's a slow and steady approach to losing weight. You know, you pretty much just change the window in which you eat. Some people just eat anytime they want. I know I did. I used to go to McDonald's at 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. I used to know what time they stopped serving dinner, what time they start serving breakfast, what time they stop serving breakfast. I used to know all their schedule. I used to be a McDonald's head. I loved McDonald's. I love McDonald's and Popeyes. And it's a DC thing, but I used to love, my chicken wings and fries too. Those were my go-tos. That's what I ate. I was made of Popeyes, McDonald's, and Chinese food. That's not even Chinese food. We'll just say chicken and fries, okay? How did I even start talking about that? Oh, social eating. So, when you do the ketogenic diet, man, it's better for me to tell you by telling you a story. At work, on Fridays, we have a vendor that comes on site. 2 vendors, right? Our firewall vendor, our network gear vendor. They come on site in the lab, and we put together our future network, okay? So it's like 12, 13 of us in a room, right? We're talking shit, we're shooting shit, just chilling, and then it's lunchtime, right? Now, during lunchtime, the vendors provide lunch to us, right? Because they want our business. So let's go to B-Dubs, they call it, right? Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's order pizza. And they got to a point where they just kept ordering pizza every day. Pizza, soda, and wings. And it's enough to take home, okay? Man, if I hadn't started my diet, when I started my diet, I would have reached over 500 pounds. Social eating. You cannot participate in social eating at the level in which you may have been participating at it before, because most of the food that most people eat is not ketogenic food. That's plain and simple. I don't need to go into that too much, right? So the way I rigged the system was that what I did is that what I would do is I would end my fast, and I do this on purpose, right at the time that lab ended. So I think it was 3 p.m. most days that lab ended. So that was when my eating window began. And I would eat up until 7 p.m. sometimes 9 p.m. So I was doing like 6 to 8 hours window. Is that correct math? I'm sorry, 4 to 6 hours window. So I was doing the 24, which is called the Warrior Diet, or I was doing the 18-6, which is, I don't know what that one's called. But yeah, that helped me, because if my eating window is closed, I can't just sneak in a slice of pizza. Nope, I'm not eating till 3. Hey, just have one slice, man. Nah, I'm good. As soon as I get in my car, I pull out my bag of nuts. I pull out my lunch meat, or I forgot what I used to eat. Yeah, it's like some little pepperonis or something. and I would eat that. I mean, I'm telling you, that shit was so nasty, but I enjoyed it because I hadn't eaten since 7 p.m. the day before. So I learned to enjoy it. I used to eat almonds, beef jerky, which I hate, and little pepperonis and stuff to break my fast every Friday. I think I used to eat that every day for the first 2-3 months to break my fast. Anyways, so that's keto and intermittent fasting. I really want to talk about carnivore diet, but I haven't done it. Okay. The reason I'm particularly interested in carnivore diet is that you take in protein, mostly protein, and I just have this feeling that someone who only eats meat would have a vicious looking physique. Like, they'll look nice, very sculpted. So that's why I want to try. I want to do a 30-day carnivore diet. But the problem I have with it is that I'm already out of the fad dieting phase, the extreme diet. I'm trying to get out of the extreme dieting phase. So once I started water fasting, I found it very hard, very difficult to go into any other sort of diet because I like water fasting. So it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If I like water fasting, I feel like it's working for me, despite what anyone else may feel. If I feel like it's working for me and I see the results and I like how I feel and everything, it's hard for me to say, let's just stop it abruptly and let's try this other diet. Like, why? Why try another diet? So I think the carnivore diet may be something I try towards the end of my journey. I still don't know yet. But this is why I'm interested in it. Muscle gain and sculpting. So yeah, I finished covering losing weight fastest, right? I didn't really talk about OMAD. OMAD is pretty much, I kind of look at it like the ketogenic diet. I'm sorry, I kind of look at it like intermittent fast. It's just that you only eat once a day. So it's like you don't eat for 23 hours, but you eat for 1 hour each day. Something like that. Lose weight moderately. You want to lose weight moderately, diet and exercise come to mind. Okay? That's what they always preach, right? Since the beginning of the time, you want to lose weight, do diet, exercise, do diet, exercise, diet and exercise. To lose weight, do diet and exercise, right? That's what they always said. It does work, okay? It does work. There's one thing that you have to really understand is that imagine that you are a lock. Okay, you're a lock, and this is a key. And these keys are diets, but there's only one lock. There's only one you. Which key will unlock the door? And then there's a locksmith that he comes and he changes the lock because you lost 100 pounds, right? So he changes the lock. Now the key that used to work, it no longer fits. So now you have to try another key. Oh, okay, it's this key now. You know. And then you lose 20 pounds. And then you might be like, okay, plateau. So, okay, that key, it stopped working. Let me go back to my other key. Oh, it's working again now. I don't know. That's a bad analogy, but you get the point. So if you want to lose weight moderately, diet and exercise is actually how I started. It helped me to lose weight that I couldn't actually see, but I could feel. And it got what I consider, I call it blood flow. It got my blood flow, and it got me feeling like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, let's start something, right? And that's how I began my journey last year, April, doing keto intermittent. I actually started by diet and exercise. I began to do meal prep. So for the first 4 months of 2019, I did meal prep, and I went to the gym, just lifted weights. I didn't do any cardio. That got me starting to feel like, yeah, I got this, I can do this. So it's very good for the mental, it's very good for activity levels, it's very good because it promotes a healthy lifestyle. But as I've always said, if you're very heavy, if you're morbidly obese, exercise is very dangerous, depending on the level of exercise you do, you know. There's so many videos on keto and intermittent fasting on YouTube. I feel like I shouldn't really cover them. I'll just say, you could pause this and read it if you need to. Psycho, calories in, calories out. I'm actually enamored I'm in love with Sicko, but I just refuse to do it right now. I love it. Because I love data and I love stats. And when you do Sicko, you have to count everything, right? And when you start to count things, you inadvertently build your food knowledge, because you have to read labels. You start to look at ingredients. You start to look at what you put into your body. That's why I love Sicko. I actually did Sicko. I know I didn't put it here, but I did Sicko with intermittent fasting and keto. Alright. You want to lose weight healthily? In my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. These are the 3 best ways to do it. Low carb diet, or a paleo diet, or intermittent fasting. Alright? If you want to just take a slow and steady approach, one thing at a time, this is the way to do it. Now, why do lose weight healthily versus lose weight moderately or lose weight fast? When you lose weight in a healthy way, well, what is considered a healthy way to me, you are able to maintain balance better coming out of the diet, right? If you do a ketogenic diet and then you stop and you begin to eat the way you used to eat, that's dangerous. When you do a low carb diet, you don't actually ever have to stop it. When you do a paleogenic diet, you don't ever have to stop it. When you do intermittent fasting, you don't ever have to stop it. These are lifelong things you can do, you can incorporate into your lifestyle. You don't ever have to stop it. Whereas when you do these extreme diets, there's periods of time you do it, and there's periods of times you rest. Okay? Waves. When you do lose weight moderately, these are actually things you can do over a long period of time, but maybe not a lifetime, right? It's very hard to count calories for your whole life. Like, who wants to do that their whole life? It's very hard to do intermittent fasting for your whole life, but there are people who can do it. That's why it kind of goes into both categories. Ketogenic diet, I truly don't believe it's healthy to reduce carbs to that level. I find it very hard to believe that I'm not supposed to eat apples and oranges, or maybe I'm only supposed to eat a small slice of one each day. You know, I find that very hard to believe. So I could be wrong, but that's just what I believe. And then, you know, diet and exercise, self-explanatory. Paleo stands for Paleolithic, okay? So it's foods that were consumed during the Paleolithic period. It's something to research if you're interested in trying to find a diet to do and you don't want to do keto diet. I believe it's one or the other, though, if you want to eat clean. Do I need to talk about intermittent fasting? Yeah, I said there's a lot of videos on YouTube about it. So, back to this. Initial phase, you know, that's when you're starting to realize, yeah, I need to do something. All right, as you begin to realize you need to do something, you start going to fad diets, right? Oh, man, I really need to do something. What should I do? Fad diets. You experiment with some fad diets, and then you start to learn about the extreme diets. The ones that people post videos. Oh, I lost 1 million pounds in 7 days. Look at me now. You know those gimmicky ass joints where they don't talk about what happened after? Yeah, extreme diets. See, I talk about what happens after. That's the difference between me and your favorite YouTubers, you know. Let me stop. I'm just playing. So you have extreme diets, and extreme diets lead to regain. Now, when you go from extreme diet and then you regain weight, there's something that happens to you mentally, okay? There's something that happens to you mentally. There's a wake up. Wake up! I wasn't going to do that. You know, something is happening. You lost a lot of weight in a short period of time. Therefore, you regained a bunch of weight in a short period of time. Guess what? It's okay. It's okay. Accept it. What goes up must come down. One extreme leads to another extreme. Balance. You have to understand that when you lose weight fast, you will regain weight. It's a fact of life. Am I saying that 100% of people will? No. I'm saying 90% of people will, okay? The average human being, yes. If If you do an extreme diet, if you do a fad diet, you will regain weight. And the reason is, most people, when they go into weight loss, they only think about losing weight. They don't think about the aftermath, right? Even me, when I started my thing, I made a 1100 day plan thinking about maintenance, but I never actually planned out maintenance. I never actually planned out extreme dieting. I never actually planned out what I would do after fat dieting. I always said I will figure it out as my journey progresses, and that's how I still feel. It's a very hard thing to think about because you're not there yet. You know, in my mind, it's still like, man, I still got 5,200 pounds to lose. So weight regain is something that's common. It's something that happens. You look at you go look at the Biggest Loser competition and look at where are they now for everyone on there, and you'll see they all regain their weight back. Okay, 99% of them gain their weight back. Okay, you lose weight fast, you regain weight fast, and the reason is you did not actually learn how to fix the bad habits that got you to where you were, and that's okay. That's okay. That's one thing I want to teach, is that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. It's actually okay. Without failure, you cannot grow. Without pain, you cannot grow. Okay? You cannot. A woman has to go through labor to have and make a beautiful baby. You understand? Like, there has to be labor. So, you regain that weight, there's that pain, and you begin to think about, what did I do wrong? And then you start to realize what you did wrong is maybe you went too extreme. Maybe you just didn't make a plan. Maybe you didn't actually learn that you didn't gain weight because of one bad day. You gained weight because of a consistent period of bad eating choices, right? So guess what? In order to maintain weight loss, you have to have a consistent period of good eating habits, choices, lifestyle. No matter what I do, if it takes me 3 years to lose this weight, it cannot take me 1 day to maintain balance. It will take me at least 1 year, honestly like 10 years, for me to know, yeah, I got this now. I've maintained balance. I've learned maintenance. Maintenance is the golden goose egg. People who are not obese already have maintenance. Maintenance is natural for them. People who are obese, they don't know maintenance. They know how to maintain an obese body, right? They don't know how to maintain a slim body. That's a whole mentality shift. That's a whole brain shift. Okay? So, that's where we're at. This is my weight loss matrix. I have a lot of work to do on it. But, you know, you got anything you think I should add? Pros, cons, disadvantages, drawbacks, whatever. Challenges that you face, let me know. I plan on working on this a lot in 2021. I don't know what I'm doing with this, actually. You know, it's just something I decided I need to chart. I think one of the reasons I decided to make this was that there's people who ask me, hey, you know, I want to lose some weight. My stomach is getting big. Or due to corona, I gained X amount of pounds. What should I do? And it's like, I could tell them what I did, but what I did might not work for them, right? If I tell them, oh, you know, I did water fasting, most people don't want to not eat for a long period of time, right? And even if you don't eat for a long period of time, in order to maintain that weight loss, it's hard because your body homeostasis says, hey, I didn't eat for 40 days. I want to eat now. And I want to eat a lot because I'm missing 40 days worth of food. You feel me? So I can't recommend water fasting to most people. So with this, when someone says, hey, you know, I'm going through this, I want to know this, what should I do? There's another section I have to add for who is this most useful for? You know, there's another section I'll add. And this is kind of how I'll be giving people tips, you know, advice. But again, this only solves one problem, the loss. Now, as far as weight maintenance goes, I truly believe that for weight maintenance, you have to calorie count, weigh yourself often. And again, this is if you're formerly morbidly obese or obese, right? Calorie count, weigh yourself often, and things like that. But just to wrap this video up, I'm going to say this. Case by case, to each his own. There's not one key that fits every lock.